And it don't seem fair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy, never felt so high. And I think I might have found me my own kind of paradise.
Welcome back. Sorry, we're running out of music. Brian, good morning.
Good morning, young man.
Sorry, I don't feel right until I feel naked if the headphones are off.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. He's just trying to get me to look at the image.
How exactly?
Yeah, I got
the whole kit and caboodle's here.
Yes, sir.
And I'm wearing pants today. Look at that. No shorts. Boss is going to be happy. Anyway, so how was 4th of July weekend for Poor Decisions?
Fantastic. So it was nice. You know, we've been a little bit nervous behind the scenes, which I'm sure we'll get to that. Mm-hmm. But I always like to use the word blessed. We were blessed that our doors were open with the opportunities to capture business.
Well, you know, I did some day drinking on the 4th.
Well, you deserve it.
Thank you very much.
America, hashtag America, baby.
Well, we were baby free that day, and we were able to go out, and then we caught up with my parents, and man, when that happens, it's always fun, and we had a good time, you know, so it was worth it. But man, Saturday moving was just a tough one.
Well,
I tried to make it to Poor Decisions. I don't even know where the hell we were by the end of the experience. You know, I was just kind of in it to win it.
Poor Decisions prior to that. Right. The lapse didn't allow you to do it.
It was almost like a precursor. I was getting close to the night out we had levels. It was getting there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Those are some big levels. those are some big shoes to fill.
But anyway, I were wanting to go by, but I looked busy. I mean, you guys look packed.
Well, you know, one of the cool things was Saturday, we've been talking about, we have a comedy show every other Saturday. And here, our bar manager, Jess, has been putting on comedy shows. We've recently had a fellow by the name of Willie Lynch Jr., who actually writes material for some very well-known people. He loves our venue so much, he asked, can he start hosting the comedy show at our place?
Nice.
So it's a win-win. You know, we get the food and liquor sales. We get to see new faces, but he actually puts on the acts that come into town.
You can't beat that. Well, and you get some better, you get some, some traveling comedians that way, and you get a broader network, man. That's cool.
Man, we put it out there. If you ever want to follow us on Facebook at Poor Decisions, when we are selling tickets or when Willie Lynch is selling tickets, he puts previews of the comics
nice.
that are coming on. So you get to see the material so you know what you're getting into prior to the arrival.
There's no heckling, going on there.
No pun intended, right? So no, it's we feel really blessed. Like I said, when we opened up that bar, there was several places that we could open, but just knowing the history of downtown Alton.
Oh yeah.
I do a lot of travel baseball, so when we travel, us parents, we got to have a good time too. So like when we go to Nashville, that's one of our favorites because you park the car and you're just walking down the strip of all these great vibes and atmospheres,
right.
And that's why we chose downtown Alton. The block parties, when you pull up, you could park your car. Again, if anyone ever follows us on Facebook, I'm just not promoting the bar. I'm promoting the cigar shop. I'm promoting Morrison's, Bubby's, and Sissy's. It's just a downtown community environment.
Well, you have to live it that way to be, I truly believe so.
You want everybody to win.
Yeah, you have to.
Absolutely.
And then you create something that's really just a neighborhood in itself again, and that's what's cool to see a little bit more of is that kind of community, togetherness in a way where it's, you guys sharing each other's posts and really just like doing weekends together, like Father's Day was like a cool collaboration.
Yep.
I saw
Taco
cool.
Padre,
yeah,
right?
That was cool.
What was it? St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
That was great. The pup crawl.
That's
not
a holiday.
The pub crawl. The pup
No, that's
crawl.
a holiday.
I always say it, putting the unity and community. We just need more of that.
So that leads me to this. So Stand Up Alton's a new initiative that you're kind of backing and spearheading here.
Like I got any time on my plate. Right?
I know. Well, I saw this for the first time and went, well, this is unique. And then you let me know a little bit about it. What was the reason you start this?
Man, this is difficult. Anybody that knows me knows I could speak easy, right?
Right.
I wing my Thursday show, which I absolutely love. And then I don't know if we have to have a disclaimer when I speak, that these don't reflect the views of RiverBender or what have you. But let me tell you about Stand Up Alton.
Yeah.
Nobody really knew who was behind the page. Hey, that's me. And I'm going to probably be short because I know you have other guests that are coming on the show. Again, we talked about opening up our bar. Mm-hmm. Really, I was supposed to be a silent partner, an investor backing a girl's dream. It started out that way in our vision. However, the uncomfortness, trials, tribulations she was going through just to get open, I had to get more involved.
Right.
So now my name's attached to the place, which is great. I love my partner. The true identity of our business isn't poor decisions, it's family ties. And I like to emphasize that because her family, my family, matter of fact, 4th of July, their family was at our house and we were celebrating. So it's really the family atmosphere. But as we go, I think we're 6-7 months in, man, this is a struggle. Mm-hmm. I don't know the proper word, folks. I'm just doing the best I can. Discrimination, harassment, targeting. I just want to know that this is going out to 60,000 people. This is not easy for me to talk about, period. However, our livelihoods are on it. My partner's a single mother of 4. We have the kitchen leased out to people who, it's not a franchise. It's their dreams and their visions to get their cooking and their passion out there, to be successful. Mm-hmm. So we feel like we're being targeted, or we know we're being targeted. Anyways, let me just fast forward. So Stand Up Alton, if no one's familiar with, on Thursday, I have a show here called You're Beautiful. And one of the things that I emphasize on the show is you have a voice, you have purpose. Be an advocate for yourself. Start speaking up for yourself. So where Stand Up Alton comes in for me is we've been forced to educate ourselves here in the city of Alton how to go about things, okay? Because we're going through that, I'm encouraging you, the listeners out there, if you reside in Alton or if you have a business in Alton, and I only want to talk factual, no hearsay, no slander, what have you. But if you're going through something, this website's designed, like I said, I don't have enough time on my plate, but the mission statement says is that I cannot guarantee you answers. However, because we're having to go through resources, I want to share those resources with you so you don't feel like your back's against the wall, so you don't feel like you're helpless, to where there's nothing you could do about it. Mm-hmm.
No, so before we go any further, so honestly, this is interesting to say the least, because I don't think a lot of people have understood, because we've talked about it a couple of times when you've been, that it was kind of rough for you guys to even get the doors open to poor decisions and everything else. So when you create Stand Up, what are some of the problems that you're facing and that led to you creating the page? Like, what's one of the problems that you're going through?
So just to kind of give you an idea, if any of you care to join us, it is open to the public.
Okay.
The 14th, which I believe is next Monday, there's a public hearing. And what that is about is the liquor commissioner, I'm not even saying the mayor, but the liquor commissioner wants to, I don't know if I'm using the proper word, revoke our late liquor license. Okay?
Okay.
Here's the problem I have with that. Anyone affiliated with our bar or in downtown Alton, we have the facts, and we are going to bring that up on Monday because they want to know why we want to stay open. Now, for the reality of this, the damage is already done. We already know he wants us closed. I think this is just a formality that he's allowing us to have a public hearing, okay? But the reality is, from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m., we wring more money in 2 hours than the rest of the entire day, okay? Wow. But it goes deeper than that. Here's where it goes deeper than that. I'm not here to talk bad about any bar. I'm not even going to say any names. But it was just recently, whatever news station carried it, there's an epicenter of issues here in downtown Alton. Mm-hmm. If you ask all the bars to close at 1 a.m., I'm cordial, I'm with it. Because at the end of the day, family and safety. I mean, there's topics I want to bring up about growth and economic building in downtown Alton. I want downtown Alton to thrive. Why do you think I post and share everybody? I want downtown. Heck, Jacoby Arts Center just moved in next to us. We want you to be able to park anywhere in downtown Alton, bar hop, shop the boutiques, downtown Alton on the map. Why you want to cross the river or stay local to spend your holiday, your weekday. But things have been such a struggle bus, and here's where I'm going to go at with this. The entire downtown Alton wasn't addressed with this. It was singled out to our bar and one other bar. Now, where it gets worse, other bars received a letter that we did not receive. about this. So we are getting singled out. We are getting targeted. So again, let me say publicly, if you want downtown Alton to close at 1, we'll close cordially at 1. Okay? Well, ever since this letter's come out, we've had an alderperson come to our bar and ask us about what events that we have in July, because as of July 14th, that's when we're going to find out if we could stay open or not.
Gotcha.
This person didn't come in to patronize our business. This person came in to find out what's our entertainment for July. I'm going to make it clear to the city of Alton, I did not open a bar for you to dictate what my entertainment is or how I'm going to do that.
Well, I mean, and I feel like it's a good note. Like, your entertainment isn't, you know, a bunch of explicit things. You're doing comedy shows. And so, I mean, I feel like that's fair to throw out. I mean, your entertainment isn't
We're
bad
excited, man. We got country line dancing. We've got comedy.
No, I mean, do you know what other bar is going to this hearing? Is it
It's the Epicenter bar.
Oh, okay, so it is 2 of you. Well, here's my question now, because I feel like a lot of times, you know, the late liquor license, you know, I see your point, because you're going, we got this, you know, we went through the hurdle of getting this, you know, thing. And now, you know, because you, from what you told me on the show, have security that are out there, and you guys have you provide that and make sure that your bar's safe and do all these things. I would like to challenge anybody to realize, you know, are these even patrons of a bar that are causing these issues, you know, at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning? Because when you're outside drinking in your in the car in the parking lot, and, you know, we've all seen it, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, you have, because I think there's a blind eye.
Well, I get what you're right. But I mean, my point is, we've all seen the parking lot parties that are going on in downtown. Whose patron are they? Because, you know, to me, it's like, you know, I get that your responsibility if they step in and they're, you know, still coming out plastered and something happens, and I kind of see the gray area. But if they aren't stepping in your place, they're still out there drinking anyway, you know, so they aren't your patron. They're just a loiterer downtown.
Well, it's actually worse than that. So let's bring this up. Until you're a business bar owner, especially that has to deal with alcohol, it's a greater liability than that.
Oh, I bet.
So if you're already partying in downtown Alton, your wet bar's in your car, you got open bottles in downtown Alton, okay?
Yeah.
What if that person wants to come in our bar and have a quick drink? Well, now you're the last person who served them.
Yep.
So now you become a liability.
Yeah.
So, you know, not only are we trying to ID, and again, step further, we're wanding people down, you know, and it's frustrating to say this. Let me tell you why. Because when I tell people about our bar, I'm like, well, trust, why do you have to do all that? So your bar's not a safe place to go? Well, we had a meeting with the police, and we asked the police, how can we create a safer, you know, establishment, a place to be? We listened to everything they said. We've had cordial meetings. You know, we've done everything. And again, not to take anything away from the surrounding bars, but we're above and beyond by having somebody out front, by having security inside. But here's where the targeting comes in. When the police say, hey, we want you to call us, right? So we've made phone calls. Hey, we see something going on across the street, or we're saying something. Well, do you know those phone calls now are being used against us for July 14th? Because we have so many phone calls that are attached to our place. So, you know, it's one of those things you're darned if you do and darned if you don't. You know, let me just tell you about a recent incident. And again, I'm not trying to put anybody on blast, especially when it comes to the police.
Oh, yeah, no.
My parents are retired police officers. I respect the blue, the subdivision I live in. There's a lot of blue. We have a lot of blue lights out there, okay? But the struggle is, and again, I'm saving all this for July 14th, so if you want to hear about it, I encourage you to be there, okay? Mm-hmm. But just recently, you know, Stacy, little girl, right? It's closing time. She goes out, hey guys, I don't want any disrespect, but we're closed. Can I please ask you to get to your cars? We don't need any extra drama out here. So I'm not saying we're trying to enforce the law, but we're trying to, you know, respect things like, hey guys, everybody had a great time. Let's all get to your cars. Let's get out here. You know, at that time, the police come by and they're like, hey, get to your cars. You know, they're doing their thing. But there was an incident where when she walked out, one of the police officers snatched a drink from a guy. Okay. Mm-hmm. Blah, blah, blah. Well, there's also a police officer out there. And she's like, well, why are you doing it to that guy? That guy's sitting there with an open bottle. And you know what he says? He goes, if I take that open bottle, I'm going to start a riot. But yet the same officer asked Stacy, little old Stacy, to do the same.
Right. Well, and see, the thing is, it's still, I get your point. And to the devil's advocate, folks, you know, what's right is right. Now, if you're going to take one, you got to take the other. That's kind of the way I look at that. It's just
from a cup to
because
a fifth.
You're right. It's both. You still both can't. Both of them are not allowed. But you still, if you're going to enforce it, you got to enforce it. You can't just pick and choose. And I get where your point is on that. Now, before we take a break, because I want to come back to more of this because it's really fascinating to get this insight. Is there anything, and just because Brian, you're real with me. Is there any? And we weren't planning to talk about any of this really the way
ours is always unscripted.
So is there anything that the bar did in your opinion, like you guys had happen there that kind of led to this? Like was there one bad day that led, or was it just kind of just...
So there is, and I'll probably wait till July 14th because again, I don't want to be here.
Yeah, no,
I feel like I'm forced to be here, and so let me just bounce back to the page real fast.
I get you.
That's why I created the page. I don't want to sit back and be railroaded. Okay?
Yeah.
I matter of fact, I'm just going to put it out there. I want to take a lie detector test on the 14th. When I say that I'm only showing up with facts, if you ask me if there's one particular thing that I know for a fact why I'm being targeted, I'm saving it for the 14th. But if I'm allowed to bring a lie detector test in there and ask one simple question, it's going to be a bad thing, bro. But anyways, going back to the page, Stand Up Alton. Folks, if you woke up today, I'm not going to my podcast, okay? But if you woke up today, I promise you, the man has a plan for you and you have a purpose. I don't want to be here right now, but there is no way I'm going to allow for me to go quietly when I'm put into an uncomfortable position. So, ladies and gentlemen, residents of Alton, business owners in Alton, that website is designed for if you're going through something. I would like to be able to provide you the resources that I've had to go through to get the facts, to help you state your case. Now, if you choose to sit back, it's like looking in the mirror. That's on you. But your voice needs to be heard, and nothing's going to get done about it unless you stand up. And that's the purpose of the page.
I get you.
So I know if you got to get to a commercial.
And we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more. Just a quick break, and we'll come back and chat for a little bit more right after this on RiverBender.
Oh no, another bad headache?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Oh, and I don't drink whiskey. I don't know how it feels to hurt. Oh, and I ain't been lonely since you said goodbye. Wish I could say I miss you. Oh, but you know I never lied.
Welcome back. Daily Show. Oh, the best part of the show is always during the commercial.
I say that all the time.
Okay. But yeah, so, Brian, getting back into this here, and I get what you're saying because, it's one of those things, if you're truly making the revenue from 1 to 3 as you're doing, I totally get it. The only thing like you even brought up is if they're out drinking in the car and they come back and they come into your place and then you're the last one that serves them, then there's liability. And so you're already being mindful of that, it seems like, from the bar's perspective.
Absolutely.
Of doing this. So, I mean, and, from the start of it, though, of Poor Decisions, I feel like you've had to kind of claw a little bit to get, liquor license and to get these things. I remember you at council meetings, over a year ago, bringing things up, and you guys had some support there with you. This one's a little bit different because you're in this special, hearing basically to know if, hey, if we got to close it at 1 or if we're going to get this late license. Are you able to, let's say this gets pulled and you have to close at 1. Are you able to survive off of that, hopefully?
The reality is, doing the numbers, I want to say no. And I say that because for me, it's a little humiliating and discouraging.
Yeah.
I own multiple businesses. I work hard at it. Not to mention the financial investment, that's involved. But you just brought something up I want to bring up. So these other bars that were made aware of this hearing for just Poor Decisions and this other named bar, they said, hey, we're just going to start closing at 1. I've already told our alderman, we're not closing at 1. We've got till July 14th before you make that decision. Mm-hmm. So the very first week, which I believe was last week, other places closed at 1. Do you know when they closed at 1, there was still a brawl?
Oh, I didn't.
And that brawl was not at our place. Matter of fact, we thrived. And here's the reality of why I'm standing up. When those bars closed, where do you think people came? To our place, because we were open. So there's another fact of 1 to 3, we did fantastic.
Gotcha.
So the reality of this is it's not closing at 1. It's cleaning up the streets.
Yeah, I get you.
And it's just not us. We have bar owners, when we talk about Stand Up Alton or other owners, they don't want to stand up because they're fear of the retaliation. And because I've been getting word out there, before we could open, you got to go through an inspection, right? Mm-hmm. So you're clear. Man, I'm telling you, right after this letter went out, I told you we had an alder person come to our bar, checking out it'd be different, if they came in, had a few drinks and they ate, but they went straight to questions.
Gotcha.
Okay. Then now we got another inspection by the fire person. Okay. Listen, if it's routine inspections, we encourage it. We endorse it. We want to provide a safe atmosphere for everybody. So some people could call it coincidence. And I'm like, what's going on here?
So honestly, I get what you're saying. So it's one of those things where you kind of felt like you were the bad guy the moment, from the alder person perspective because of just the questions right away. And then you're claiming too that these inspections happen.
We couldn't be open if we didn't pass inspections to begin with. Right.
Gotcha.
Again, I'm going to say
no, just to clarify for the audience.
I want to say
this is interesting.
It's really unfortunate, and let me tell you why it's unfortunate. We had a private meeting with the mayor. Okay, over the liquor license, what have you. My partner and I, the mayor and his partner, we were talked about being treated rudely. Okay, which he couldn't believe that. Well, I'm a TikToker and I'm an influencer. Am I right?
Yeah, you do.
So in order to have that content, what do? You record a lot of things. You may not use everything, but you record in case you might use it for later. So in that private meeting, I told the mayor, I don't think I'm allowed to. However, I recorded my conversation. And with your permission, I'll play the recording for you, only with your permission, if you could see how we were treated. We played it. I think he was a little shocked. Yeah. What I'm going to speak about on the 14th, I'm always recording. So when I bring up this lie detector test, we could either do that, or if it ever becomes allowed, yes, I know for a fact it's not hearsay that we are being targeted. And here's the frustrating part. I'm broadcasting this, whether it's citywide, national-wide, what have you. I am uncomfortable. Like, I'm parked in the city of Alton. Yeah. Stacy will even tell you, I don't DJ anymore. I don't even want to go to my own bar because I don't want to be, and again, this is not against the police or what have you, but now I have fear. Now I have fear. Am I getting pulled over? My seatbelt's on. I'm 10 and 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
So the own city where I'm trying to bring the people to for a good time. Now I have fear of coming into my own city. And how do you think I'm going to feel after the 14th? Like I have to start purposely designing a route, how to go around, because I'm telling you guys on air, after I speak the 14th, I'm publicly announcing I'm in fear for my life. Because this is so uncomfortable.
I get you. Okay.
But that's why I'm standing up. And that's why a lot of people don't stand up. Because if they share things, what are the consequences? Matthew 7.1, we just had it on Thursday. Who am I to judge? If I point one finger at somebody, there's 3 more fingers pointing at me. What does that mean? That means if my house isn't right, how can I point the other way? But I bring that up for a reason. Because even after this, we've asked to meet with the mayor. We've asked to meet with the police. And this is what we were told. Well, once this hearing is set, there's no conversation.
Oh, I get you. It's like a procedure.
The same meeting that I talked about being in with the mayor. Mayor, I know you don't know me, but if I could provide any help to give you ideas and game plan with the city of downtown Alton, let's do it. I'm here. Now, again, who am I? I'm no politician. I'm new to the city of downtown Alton, okay? Mm-hmm. But these growing pains of opening up this bar, man, you see stuff so fast. And all I want to do is lend a helping hand. And all I've been doing is turned away. Now, don't get me wrong. The liquor commissioner, the mayor, the police, they've got bigger things than just Brian Trust, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm offering my help. What's my help? Is my input.
Yeah.
How can we do this together? Because there are so many great things.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I get what you're saying, because the whole thing, it's the whole issue. If you get student in here, it's 941.
Turning red.
Is that you had a late liquor license, which for a while, I mean, that was pretty hard to come by. I mean, to get the late one, and then you get it. Now you're getting it potentially revoked here. We'll know for sure on potentially on the 14th special meeting, along with another bar. And now you're saying, and just to recap, is that's when you do the best in business, 1 to 3 a.m.
Amen.
And it's not your clientele that's causing the issue, or it's not your patrons, correct?
The best way to answer that, it's what's going on in downtown Alton prior to people walking into the establishment.
Well, and see, that's the point that I think a lot of downtown business owners, whether it's a bar or anything, have. I mean, anyone that lives it, and I live it, and just because of the office being here and everything else, I mean, you see the loitering taking place.
I was just going to say that's the reality. Just show up the next morning. And we were cleaning up bottles all over the place.
Yeah, I get you. And so it's like, to me, that would be the frustrating factor if I was in your position, would just be that. And because I'm never the one to make, hey, I support you on the air, or I don't, because it's just not where my show's platform is or position is. But it's just, that's the frustrating part for me, I think, is that this is something I've talked to with multiple bar owners and bartenders and people that work in the district, is that it's a problem that's been here for quite some time.
Before we opened.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't just show up, in the last 6 months.
But to single my bar out,
yeah.
Okay, the reality is, if you want to close at 1, then we all close at 1.
I get you.
So that's being attacked. And then when you put me in the same category of the so-called, air quotes, epicenter of the issues, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because I'll leak a little bit of this out. Come July 14th, when we show up with the factual data, with the phone calls that come from our place, that is us also calling out, saying, hey, we see this going on. Somebody should get there. The police said, hey, if you don't want to be the bad guy and say it's closing time, call us and we'll close them out. Here's what they don't tell you. These phone call logs get used against you in the current position that we're in right now.
Yeah.
We've also learned that our name gets tagged. So if something's going on at the epicenter or somewhere else, well, it's close by poor decisions. So that becomes a strike against you in this call log. That is unfair. So I get what they're doing, but now come July 14th, it's David and Goliath.
What time?
I'm calling them out.
What now? Is this before like the council meeting or?
So council meetings, part of Stand Up Alton. Council meetings are every other Wednesday. Okay. You have to sign up to speak up. This is not a city council meeting. This is where myself and the other bar is getting called out about our liquor licenses.
What time? Now, is this open to the public?
It is open to the public.
Wow.
So I believe the first bar, again, I don't have the itinerary in front of me, but I believe the first bar is going to talk at 6 p.m. What's the purpose of the hearing? Is for them to say why they should be able to stay open. Okay. I believe they speak at 6. We speak at 7:30. There has been a little frustration for us because we've never got a clean answer exactly what takes place other than you're required to show up. We did find out that people could speak on our behalf, as far as character, or about our place. We feel very blessed that there's over a dozen people already wanting to speak up. The end of the day is here. If you like our bar and you like downtown Alton and you'd like to see a difference, we're encouraging you to come out, speak. If you want to go a step further, every other Wednesday, again, there's city council meetings. Start learning your resources. And I want to bring something up that's going to help us this July 14th. You really need to go to the City of Alton website. There's so much resources and information available to you. Mm-hmm. For example, FOIA. That's a Freedom of Information Act. Yeah, there you go. I couldn't even do the spelling. And what that allows you to do is if you had an incident at your residence or a place where the police were involved or there was a phone call, you could file for that report. And they are required to give you that report. So when you go to speak, it's not hearsay. You have factual data that was reported for that incident, and you could use. So Stand Up Alton, again, is a page designed to where I'm going to do my very best. I'm not saying I'm representing you. I'm not saying that I have the answers. I just now, because I'm forced to be in the position that I'm in, I want to be an advocate for people.
Well, and you know what? It's one of those things where it's going to be good for the public to follow along that way too. And to,
to stay up to I'm not running for politics, but I'm already getting messages about the streets, the sinkhole, the water, the electric. I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I appreciate those concerns, but I have zero experience. I have no issues of politics. All I'm simply saying, it's time to stand up. Period.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Brian, thank you so much for stopping by. I know that, and thanks for, handling this, in a way that, just gets the information out there. And I hope your meeting on the 14th goes well.
I appreciate that.
And if you need anything, just come back on the show and just keep talking about it.
I appreciate the resources.
Oh, no problem. 9:46, a little bit of change. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and wrap up the 9 o'clock hour here in the heart of the 618-77 day. We'll come back with more Daily Show next.